My birthday ain't paying for shit. I'm just let y'all know. Like, respectfully, I even tell the people, I go there eat by myself. They're like, is somebody here with you? I'm like, no, but it's my birthday. Respectfully, I'm out.
Respectfully.
Do you pay for your meal on your birthday? I don't celebrate birthdays, but if I did, I wouldn't pay for shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, on my birthday, but usually I'm with people. I'm usually not alone.
Oh, yeah.
I would go out by myself. If I celebrate birthdays, I'll go out by myself. A really fancy restaurant.
Well, I know all the birthday spots. Any
Yeah,
app,
there's a
any
lot of
app that
free
I
spots.
say that gives you a free birthday something, I show
Yeah.
up.
There's a lot of
word?
free
You get
spots.
free spots?
Starbucks be doing it. Like, there's a lot of little...
You have to show me ID?
You just gotta
No,
show. You have to show them the
they
app.
may ask for your
You show
birthday.
them the app as long as you signed up and your birthday is on there.
Yeah.
Every year they're gonna give you that free drink.
There's a lot of...
any
Let me
size,
tell
too.
you. There's
Any
a lot
size.
of... Yep. Restaurants.
I got the hustle.
I went in there and was like, let me get that churro drink.
Yeah.
That
And you
drink,
can
that
start
drink
out...
that costs $12
Yep.
for that venti. Let me get that for free.
And you can start out early, too, and go do all the breakfast spots.
They do a lot of military
I'm
people.
telling you, they got
A lot of military people do
breakfast,
that on
lunch.
Veterans Day.
Dinner. There's, like,
I know
different
people
spots.
live their whole day. They be at IHOP one moment, they be at Denny's, they be at this place, they be at Starbucks.
They're like, give me get that.
Eat for no goddamn reason. Like you already ate.
You can even get your ice cream, your Cold
I'm
Stone.
not mad at
Get
that.
your little free dessert,
Cold
everything.
Stone,
Oh, that does
Cold
sound
Stone is
good.
bomb.
Cold Stone is bomb. It's
your little
overpriced,
free
but it's
dessert.
bomb.
And
I
be
don't know if it's
like,
overpriced though, because you can't really get that
It's
nowhere
good.
else. Yeah,
I know.
Cold
That's
Stone,
why,
yes.
and that's why they can do it.
Yeah.
But it's like if you want some ice cream, I can easily go to the store and get some ice cream.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna be.
But Cold Stone, they really, I feel like
They be bomb.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, there's two types of people who got strong hands. There's rock climbers and people who work at Cold Stone.
That's hilarious.
Cause if you ever see them with them two little spoons, you see the motion?
Yeah.
They be doing that shit all day.
He said rock.
The rock climbers.
And people don't know the gymnast too.
Gymnasts, gymnasts are super strong.
Not sexy, bro.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
sexy.
I was like, if you can do the high or uneven bars, or if you can do the pommel horse or the rings, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
The rings.
The rings is almost impossible.
The rings are hard.
Have you ever tried to get up on the rings?
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
I did gymnastics when I was
Oh,
9. Yeah.
that shit-
Oh, yeah. Will
The
over
rings,
here.
the rings are one. I think the hardest thing. Gym people, most of you guys will agree with me, but I think the hardest thing to do strength wise is probably going from an iron cross into an inverted iron cross. That's when you go from, I don't know if people can see me. If you're on the rings and you're holding your arms straight out, and you go from that position upside down with your legs straight up in the air like that, it's extremely hard to do because you have to balance strength and flip over. Like it's hard. I've never been able to tackle it.
When did you do it? In high school and stuff?
I didn't do it. I'm saying I tried to do it, but I'm saying physically, it's like if you watch it, you're like.
So what were you able to just hold yourself?
I was able
like
to
with the
hold
arms?
myself on the rings, but the rings wasn't like my event. I was like 9. I did like floor
Oh, okay,
exercise.
never mind.
I did some pommel horse, and then
You was flipping.
Yeah, I did flips. Floor exercise was my joints. I could backflip.
Yeah, I
say,
dated
yeah.
a gymnast, the strongest people on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, pound for pound.
What's crazy is like
Legs, everything.
it's like a strong ass yoga person because they extremely flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
And
makes me
strong.
even stronger.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
the flexibility part makes it even worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, God
Dang.
damn.
You can literally walk up on a gymnast girl, be like, "How you doing, girl?" She could take her her leg, put it behind her head, and be like talking to her, her foot
Or
like
she could
this.
squeak, bro. Like,
Talk to her foot, then turn around and be like, "What's up?" and break your hand. Like,
Damn.
I dated the chick. She squeezed me with her thighs, and I was pretty close to punching her.
It's different.
Like, that's how bad it hurt.
Gymnast
Really?
strength is different.
Yo, and I was a grown ass man, and like she grabbed my waist with her thighs and was squeezing.
Look at all those gymnasts. Even the little ones like
shit.
I was gonna punch her.
Simone Biles is like 4'11".
Oh, yeah.
But if you look at her
This chick's-
shoulders,
Her body,
This chick's
yeah.
5'1".
Yeah.
Did this to me. She's
Damn.
5'1", bro. And if she was in the UFC, like she would kill somebody if she grabbed him with her legs. That's how strong her legs were.
Damn.
It was insane.
most gymnasts are small though. There are
Yeah,
some
'cause
taller
Simone,
ones,
like,
but I mean
yeah.
you got a lot of weight to lift. Like you typically, it's easier to be smaller than to be like 6'2", 180 pounds trying to like lift and do all these flips. I mean it can be done, but it just
And doing all the flips, doesn't that
Yeah.
compress your spine?
Dang.
I feel like
After so many
over time,
years.
I feel like
All of them I see, they look like they got short torsos.
they're just all like this.
Like they got long arms,
Neck be right here.
long
He said
legs,
short
short
torsos.
torsos. You know what I'm saying? Like
Strong.
they got smashed
Yeah.
and shit.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, they're pretty
gymnastics
small.
is fun though. Like I mean, if you're into it, but I feel like gymnastics you have to start young. Like a lot of people are like I want to start it later on in life. I'm like when you have fear, you can't do gymnastics
Yeah.
before like after you have fear,
That's a good point.
huh?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because when I started doing gymnastics, when I did my first actual back handspring, I think I was 8 or 9, because I used to always try it. And I'm thinking about myself now, like if I'm 20 years old, I ain't about to just try a backflip. I'm thinking about all the shit that'll happen to my neck. I'm thinking about all the movies I done watched. As a kid, they'll be like, hey, do a backflip. They'll be like, what is that? They'll be like, you just flip over. Motherfucker would just do it without thinking about it.
Right.
Yeah.
No questions asked. And then they'll realize, it hurt. They'll be like, yeah, you learned, but you did it.
Didn't you flip and break your leg or?
I've done 2 flips where I got hurt. I did one where I landed on my neck, didn't get hurt, but I got laughed at by my auntie because that's how my family do. And yeah, I didn't get hurt super bad, but like
you felt it.
My dumb ass. I was a kid. No, I was a kid. How old was I? I was.
No, because I'm thinking of the video of him flipping when he was dancing.
Oh, I'll tell you. I'll show you that one
king,
either. But
boy.
I was 10 years old, and my I was always known as well, he be doing them flips. He be doing backflips. He do that backflip. And I live in Washington. You know it rained. I was in the grass. I went and did a round off into a back tuck, landed straight on my neck. I didn't break my neck, but I was just out. Everybody like laughed, thought it was jokes. Oh, he fell hard. I'm over there crying, like physically crying.
Because you thought you broke your neck?
No, I was crying because that shit hurt. It wouldn't even know. I thought my neck was broke. But as soon as I realized other stuff was moving, I was cool.
Yeah.
But I was like,
You're like,
and they were like, oh, is he really hurt? As
funny.
they still continued to giggle.
Oh my God.
But
but what about your frat?
So my fraternity, we did a step show in of all places, Hawaii. And I did a backflip on the stage, opened up too early, and I ruptured my Achilles.
What do you mean by, you gotta explain to people, what do you mean open up?
So like when you do a back tuck, obviously like you jump up, you know, put your legs together, and you do the backflip. So there's a certain timing that comes with it. Me, I mistimed it. I think it was because I was wearing boots in place of like some lighter shoes. So I opened up a little early.
What does open up mean?
So like opening up my legs. Like I should have stayed tucked longer.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, I should have stayed tucked
longer.
Okay. I opened up a little too soon, so my legs, when they hit the ground, instead of landing flat, I landed forward, and I had this boot on that was like really tight around my ankle. So there was no like room to like wiggle around or nothing. So my foot just went like this, and my Achilles snapped.
Bro. That's why I don't flip, bro. See?
But what was crazy is most people are like, oh my God, it must have hurt. I said I felt the initial pop, and then my shit went numb.
That's what I heard about it.
But you kept going though, right?
I tried to keep going because I was like, it went numb, but I was like, oh, I'm still good. Like I'm not in pain. But then when I tried to move, I couldn't walk. When you tear your Achilles, there's no more lift. You can't lift. You can't do a calf raise.
Your Achilles, pulls your calf muscle, so you can
your
walk.
calf, you can't.
I didn't realize that the Achilles.
Yeah, it's a functional thing.
So I remember you was out for a minute on the crutches.
I was out for a year. In terms of like my typical activities, I was out for about a year. I was able to walk with a boot after 3 months.
So did you look at Kobe Bryant's performance differently after your experience?
Oh, all the respect. I mean, I already had respect for Kobe, but anybody who's dealt with that,
and this motherfucker went and shot free throws.
Walked up.
Free throws.
Yeah.
Gotta keep that in mind. He actually made the free throws.
I didn't even think about that.
You gotta think about that because he walked away. He knew it hurt.
I didn't even think about that.
When you turn your Achilles, like there's no like lift, so he literally was just like this. He was stepping and then walked.
Yeah.
Court, bro.
And then KD did the same thing, and then also Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson tore his Achilles.
I can't even imagine
and tore his ACL. Came back the next year and won a championship.
Fuck. Shit making my legs hurt just talking about it.
It's a scary feeling, man.
And you gotta think like when they do it, you're like, are they okay? But really, they're like, you just see they want to cry. Like, you know, the pain.
You want to cry because
saying?
either you get a painful situation or you have it like me where it was numb, but you just know, like, after, you just know you ain't going to be doing that for the next while.
Now, do you get like the, so I dislocated my kneecap, right? So I knocked my kneecap out of the socket onto the side, right? And I had to smack it back on.
Insane.
Right? Traumatizing event, right?
Yeah.
So anytime I see like somebody do this, I can't watch it. Like I cannot watch somebody pop their knee back in because I literally could feel.
Oh, I can't even imagine that.
Just looked at my phone.
Oh yeah. The 4-4. Yeah.
I've been seeing these triple numbers all day.
Thanks for bringing me in on that one. That's a good number.
I just seen a female baseball player. She slid towards the home base, and when she hit the plate, her ankle turned in and her knee popped out. And so, but her knee is bent at the time. Mine was straight. So I can imagine what happened.
Like a Sean Livingston situation?
Yeah, but bent is way worse because you have to get it over the hard part of your knee. So you could just see her just like fucking pounding the bone, her kneecap trying to pop, and I almost passed out watching this.
Dang.
But do you get like that now that you've been through like the Achilles thing? Like when you see people have Achilles injury, like do you feel that? Like
I don't know. I try to think positive. But I be looking at it because I just know what they're going through. I be like, ooh, people, oh man, he tore his Achilles. I'm like, nah. It's not. There's not a laugh behind it. It's like, nah, he's fucked up. Like,
he's done.
he's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. I
The people
popped
who
my
tear
knee.
those Achilles and come back.
popped your knee.
Yeah, softball.
Like popped it what?
Like
saying-
when you're running and you hear like a pop.
People who rupture
I'm
their
like,
Achilles don't usually come back the same. That's why you have to already be a superior athlete, like a Klay Thompson, a Kobe, or a KD. Because you're not just coming back as a regular. Like, I'll use a regular player that didn't play as much and tore your Achilles. Chances are you ain't coming back that strong.
Facts.
You had to already be
Now,
top
does it make
tier.
it easier for rehabilitation?
What do you mean?
Like, let's say Kobe versus somebody who.
Absolutely. You
know.
got to think about the training they're getting. They got they got the stuff that we don't even know about. Like he getting massages.
Yeah.
He getting massages daily. He getting rubbed out. You know, they doing
Rubbed out.
Hey, shit, however you want to take it. But because I know when I went to physical therapy, they had to stretch my Achilles for me, and that is a painful process. And it's one of them things where you just got to sit there and take it. Because what they do is like, because it hurts you to do it because you don't want to stretch because they've already because if you don't get the surgery, it'll mend back together on its own. But they said, because they asked me, do you want to do surgery or not do surgery? I said, what's going to get me back into high performance position?
Yeah,
I said, at some point I was an athlete. I want to be able to at least run and be able to interact. They're like, well, if you don't get this surgery, there's less research with high performance athletes not getting the surgery than there is with
Oh, that's
it.
interesting.
So I was like, well, then go on and give me the surgery then.
So they don't know what will happen if you do.
Like they do. I mean, you'll be fine. Like but they just don't know if you're gonna have that same push because obviously it's gonna be a little bit more stretched out versus them bringing it back together where it was.
How does it? Slow down, bro. You make my skin crawl.
I know, like,
Once you
oh,
tear it, right? If you don't have surgery, how are you gonna get it back? It's gonna grow back together. on its
Apparently, your body
Like heals?
naturally will
Holy
mend it
shit.
together. Yeah.
own? Holy
now,
shit.
do you ever feel something like when you're?
No,
You know,
I'll
a
show you
reaction
my
or a
Achilles
twitch
after
or-
this, but
Does it look different?
it
Your
does.
Achilles?
My Achilles that ruptured is thicker.
Oh,
No, the scar
Wow.
tissue. Yeah.
Scar tissue, yeah. Like it's like if you feel like my regular side, it's more like about this thin versus my other side, it's like this.
oh,
Huh?
Do
So
you, now, do you feel different when you move your legs, or
Yeah.
are you back to normal by now?
I would say I'm back to normal. I'm more cautious, but I can play a game and do things
mentally,
like normal.
You think about it sometimes.
I used to, not as much now. Now I feel like, oh, okay, I'm cool.
oh, okay.
But
That's
You
Yeah.
don't ever
At
feel
first, though,
anything.
no,
You know what I
'cause-
mean? Like,
because I asked my, I think I was about
mhm.
10 months in. I was like, he's like, you can start playing sports and stuff, and I was like, sports?
He said, "What?"
He was
Like
like, he
sports?
goes, I know you. That's what you're trying to get back to. I think you're in a position now where you look better. And I'm like, I mean, I'll try. So I started gradually playing basketball to get myself back, but I wasn't playing the same. Like I would run down the court, but it would be more like a jog, and I would just shoot. They're like, go to the lane. I'm like, motherfucker, for what? Y'all. I'm like, everybody in this gym knew what I went through. Like,
Dang.
so
Sheesh,
That's
bro.
crazy.
no, Achilles is rough.
That's
So,
no
Dana,
joke.
you said you popped your knee. What do you?
Yeah.
I don't know
in
what's worse.
softball.
Knees, ankle, or Achilles is bad, but knees are bad too.
Knees are bad,
ACLs
yeah.
and MCLs.
I've had my
Tough.
ankle, my foot,
What you did to your foot?
sliding.
Oh, you see that baseball boy. That's the same thing I seen happen to that lady.
Yeah. And actually, that injury came back, and I was like, so then when I went to the doctor, like maybe a couple months ago, they were like, if you break it, you're going to actually have to have foot surgery. I was like, damn it, all those years of sliding. I was, oh, man. But I've twisted my ankle, my knee from running, twisting it, like, yeah. I was
Speaking of
like, dang.
baseball, I was in a kickball
Softball.
tournament on Sunday. That shit was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Random thought.
Kickball.
Kickball
That's
was fun,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, that is fun.
I could have been a professional kickball player.
I be trying to tell people.
I was
Kickball?
pretty fucking good, man. I was pretty good at kickball. If it was a real sport,
Huh?
Yeah.
fame, baby.
I don't like. I
Kickball.
don't typically like toot my horn in sports. I was like, but I'm like, I feel like I'm the guy who is not always gonna be the best athlete on your team. But it's like if I'm on your team, something good will happen. Huh? I'm a very good role player in almost any sport you put me in. Like,
Yeah, you played softball.
I play softball. I
Yeah.
even got footage. Somebody was like, "Oh, you want to come play softball?" I showed up late, and they were like, and they were down 7-0 in the first inning. I was like, "Why did I end up on this team?" And my first swing was a home run. First swing, like
That's how
You can run fast too.
Sometimes you just
In
act,
the
You
lineup.
know what I'm saying?
I did that in kickball. So the other day we had two fast guys. It was a guy. We were in the field. The guy on my right, he was quick as shit too. But I'm playing center field. Somebody kicked the ball over to left field, so I'm running over, and the guy he's running back. I ran past him on his side and got the ball, and then ran back in and threw it to second.
Yeah, you're fast.
Yeah.
Because when we played softball,
It was
I would
super
always put
funny.
William in there.
No,
Because we used to have actors. Remember, they would come to the show and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I could ball," and they'd be all fit. And then I'd be like, "All right, let's see."
Man.
And then they come play softball, and it was trash.
it was
I was
super
like,
funny because I
man.
played the last softball game I played in. I usually play like in the field. I like playing in the field. And I was playing center, and somebody hit the ball over my head, and I ran back to get it. And somebody looked at me running. They said, "How old is he?" They were like, they thought I was like, "Is he old like us, or is he young?" Like,
Oh
like,
shit! They're like, "Is he?" just
There's
a
some
little
old people
younger?"
that can run. You forget like some track athletes
Yeah.
that still got it.
Some of the old ones too.
Like we were saying, but I'm pretty sure at 50, he's probably gonna still run faster unless he's hurt. He'll probably still run faster than the
Yeah.
average 20-year-old. Like,
That's like the guy that played on our team, Richie Rich, that white boy, the one that would slide and dip, and he would do all this stuff. He would hit. He was a left-handed, and he would always come in. He was ready to slide for everything. You're like, yo, you're like in your 40s, like
I actually
50s.
want to touch back on that because
He's
me
like-
and A-Dot were talking about this on the way here. We were talking about like how in Hollywood, for some reason, all these people come here and they were former athletes in their hometown.
Oh yes,
Huh.
yes, you got
But
to
they be
speak
saying
on
like
that.
unrealistic numbers. I'm like, they say numbers as if like, oh, you should have been a pro. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, before I messed up my knee, I used to run a 4.3, and then they're like, oh, okay, I ain't never heard of you.
Yeah,
Because a 4.3 ain't slow.
no,
That's like DK
No.
Metcalf ran a 4.3.
Uh-huh.
Like,
that is not slow.
oh, they'd be like, yeah, man, I used to have super bounce, you know what I'm saying? But, before I did the, whatchamacallit, I'm like, come on, man.
Whatchamacallit.
I hate
That's
talking
funny.
about